In this video I'm going to show you how to set up the wedding album, which is a part of the wedding style pack. Right, let's start by putting just a couple of blank slides in. That can be set to 1, and that can be set to 1 as well. Okay, right, we'll start. The wedding album is made up of, let's have a look at it in the slide styles. The wedding album is made up of 7 parts. There we go. Part 1 is the opening, the album opening. Part 2 is landscape to portrait. Now, although the wedding album uses all square photographs, as you can see I've got some here ready, they're actually displayed as either landscape or portrait. Part 2 is landscape to portrait. That means that it starts with a landscape picture, and the second and third and fourth pictures, I should say, are portrait. Part 3 is portrait to portrait. Part 4 is portrait to landscape. Starts with portrait. As it turns, it goes to landscape. Part 5 is landscape to landscape. Part 6 is, I've called it static. It's actually landscape, and it's static. That's there so that you can use it as a fade. Rather than have the book close, you can fade out or use another transition if you wish. And the final part, oops, I've gone too far. Part 7 is the album closing. Right, so we'll go back and we will select part 1, and apply it. Yes, okay. Now we'll drag this over, if my computer will let me. There we go. Okay. Now you'll see that the photos here are numbered 1 to 6 because there are 6 photos initially. Photo 1 being the first photo that you see on the left, photo 2 is on the right, photo 3 is the second one on the left, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you would expect. So we'll drag something into photo 1, so we find our first photo 1, which I think I've missed. Where is it? Photo 2. I can't find photo 1. There it is, photo 1. We'll drag this one down and put this one into photo 1. So that's our first picture. We'll put this one down for photo 2. We'll select this one for photo 3. I'm looking for 4, there it is. That one there will be photo 4. This one here will be photo 5. And somewhere, I know it's a bit further down, photo 6. There it is, there's photo 6. So we'll put this last photograph in here for photo 6. Okay. Right, now it says here it has to be 23:97, so we'll make that 24. We'll say OK to that. And we'll set that to 24 seconds. Transitions between the various parts of the wedding album have to be set to 0 seconds. So we should now, if I run that, see the first 6 photos as the wedding album opens. Seems to work. Now make note of the last 2 photographs, because we need to know those for the next part. There we are, it's those 2, that one and that one. on the last two photographs. Okay, so we'll add another blank slide. This one needs to be a third. The time of this slide needs to be a third of that, so we'll set that to 8. And we'll put part 2 in there. Got so many in here. There we are. Wedding Gold part 2. And this is landscape to portrait, so we'll start with landscape and finish with portrait. Drag that across so that I can see them. Now, to get the sequence to run correctly, the first photo on the left has to be the same as the last one on the left in the previous section. So photo 1 has to be this one. There we go. Well, we've got it right this time. And this photo here becomes photo 2. Okay, now that's because that was the last one on the left in the previous part, and that was the last one on the right in the previous part. So we can now add 2 more photos. Photo 3 and photo 4. Good. Let's say OK to that and have a look at it. And there we go, it's changed from landscape to portrait. So we'll add another blank slide now. Which is somewhere here. Part 3. And part 3 is portrait to portrait, so we'll put 4 portrait photos in this one. Well, they're square, but they will appear to be portrait. They'll be displayed as portrait. So we'll slide that across. Now, again, the first photo we have to put in has to be exactly the same as the last one on the left in the previous part. So, photo 1 has to be this one. And photo 2 will have to be this one. And we'll put 2 more photos in. Photo 3. And photo 4. So now we've added 3 parts. Part 1, 2 and 3. We'll just see that that last section is okay. Wonderful. So we've ended with a portrait. We'll add another blank. Now we want to change from portrait to landscape, which I think is number 4. Part 4. Just check up here and make sure. Portrait to landscape. There we go. So we will apply that. Say OK. Move this across. So same thing applies. The first photo, photo 1, has to be the last one on the left in the previous part. So it was that one we used. So that becomes photo 1. And the last one on the right that we used in the previous part was this one. So that becomes photo 2. Now we want 2 more. Photo 3. and photo 4. So we now have two portrait followed by 2 landscapes. Say OK to that, and we'll just check that that's working. Seems to be fine. And now I think we'll close the book, so we'll add one more blank slide. And this will be part 7. You can add as many as you like, obviously, just keep going. But I'm just going to, as this is just a demo, I'm just going to show you just a few parts. Sorry, my mind was drifting there. I was trying to find the wedding album. I've got so many styles on here. There we are. Gold. And that should say album close. Yes, it does. And it has to be, the last part has to be landscape. Right, we'll move that across. Now it's given me access again. And again, photo 1 has to be that one, which was the last one used on the left-hand side of the previous part. Photo 1. And photo 2 has to be the last one on the right, the previous part. That should be it. Drag it back. Say OK. Now we have one last thing to do. The album has to end with a 2-second transition. So we'll set that to 2. We'll just make sure that we've got the photos in the right order. And we have. Good, that seems to work. Let's go right back to the beginning and see what we've done. We start with a 1-second transition and end with a 2. So let's play it and see. I should now see the album open. And there should be 6 photos displayed as landscape. And then we go into the next one, which should be landscape to portrait. So there we are, there's the portraits. We go to the next one, which is just portraits. There we are. And then we go back to landscape. And then we finish with the book, with the album closing. Excellent. Okay, right. Well, I hope this has helped. Just 1 or 2 things that you must remember. You must always use square photos when using the album. And the parts have to have a 0-second transition in between them. And it's as simple as that. Okay, enjoy.